Missy Day, and I'm the CEO and founder of What's Your Story. And with me today, my partner in the podcast is Jason Gardner.
Hi.
Thank you for being here. A man of few words.
A man of few words. Well, not all the time, just today.
And our guest today is Sheila Volante.
Yes, hi.
And she is the CEO of SEER, S-E-E-R. And I'm so glad you're with us today.
Me too. I'm super excited.
Me too. I think I told you, I tell my husband about you all the time, and now he asks me, this is like on the daily, so what's new with Sheila? What is she saying? What's going on?
Well, I'm definitely honored. And you know what? I definitely, what's going on? A lot is going on. AI is going on. So my company's been busy trying to help, organizations go ahead and strive on AI. And everyone's scared. I don't know why they're scared. They don't need to be scared. We help them calm their nerves.
I think that'd be a great thing to talk about for a little bit, because I was one of the ones actually in my mastermind earlier this year. Everybody was talking about, well, have you done chat? Have you put in? And I'm like, no, we're not doing that, because I was afraid, but I wasn't going to say I was afraid. I was like, who needs that? No, I'm not going to do that and have them, tell me what to say and do and all the things. Until one day I was like, you know what, be a grown-up, Missy Day, and just, check it out and see what's happening. Now I can't live without chat. Everything I do, I run through. Hi, my friend. Would you look at this? So why do you think, what is the fear factor about that?
I think the fear factor started during the Twilight Zone, right? During the 1950s when they saw robots come to life, right? And I think we've been preconditioned for so long knowing that these robots are coming. And so essentially now they're here. Now we're kind of afraid through that. But I'm here to say is that everything changes. I mean, from industrial age, we've been changing for quite some time. I don't see the milkman giving us milk anymore, right? Do we have switch operators connecting us in our line? No, all those things have changed. And so this new thing called Industrial 4.0 allows us to coexist with robots. And essentially, robots are here to aid us through whatever we need to do for not any mending tasks, things of that nature. So I don't think that the message has really been complete of that, and that's why people are afraid. Yeah.
Well, I think, so it's kind of funny. So we were talking about this today, actually, and we were talking about, why is it when we watch the Jetsons, we all loved the maid, right? Who was a robot?
Yes.
We loved her. And so now it's like, but then when you think of like having one in your house, then people are like, oh no, they're going to kill us.
Right.
And it's like, really?
We all love Judy, right? Judy was everything that we can imagine of that.
Yes.
And I think it's Hollywood, right? Cinema has made it to where robots are very fearful, right? And so we have this conscience in the back of our mind to say, I don't know, I don't want that thing in my house, right? And then also government, things of that nature. But I'm here to say is that we're going to be going into this new digital age where robots are going to be aiding humans. And I think that we saw that in the pandemic. If it wasn't for robots, we wouldn't have survived it. Not only the first responders, but robots were there to deliver things when we couldn't. They were able to keep production lines when we couldn't, right? And we were able also to see the earth kind of clean itself up, right? During that time. So essentially, I think that allowing robots to do those mundane tasks where we become more of the quality assurance people. And guess what we get to get back? Our time, right? And I don't think that we're actually seeing that overall, right? We're just only focusing on the scary Terminator stuff, right? That we've been accustomed to for a very long time.
Have you seen, I saw this yesterday, Elon Musk rolling out that cool bus thing?
Yeah. He just released the robots today. So you can get your own robot for $20K. That's your homemade Judy. So iRobot is here, and it's I think that it's going to take some time for us to actually pre-exist or coexist with robots. It's going to take us a while. Unless, this next generation is so accustomed, they're like, yeah, that's zippy. I'm good with that, right? I think that it's going to just take us a little time to, us millennials and Gen Xers it's going to take us time to get away from the control, right?
What are some things, if people are wanting to stick their toe into the AI robot tech support pond, what could they do? How would they get comfortable?
Yeah, I think it all starts with being in the business, right? So it's up to corporate to really educate their business end users on how to get comfortable with tech. I know that in the past, training programs were always really readily available. Over time, they became like you can go get it on your own because we started to get into the information age. But I think it's going to be responsibility of these corporate leaders to educate their business end stake users to actually grow with the technology and be okay with it. I think that the first generation of technology adoption, excuse my word, but it sucked. Right? People were given the nurturing of saying, you don't have to write in paper now. You can just do email, and this is why it's going to save you time. They didn't do the same thing for AI, and they're just being thrown into it. Instead of being shown, how does this actually make it valuable where I don't feel like my job is going to be lost in the next month or so? So I think it's important for leaders to do that, right? Be the accolades of your business and help, this next generation towards more robotic acceptance.
So your role with Sears is you help businesses, right?
That's correct.
Kind of like get to the next level or maybe, assess where they're at.
Yes.
How many companies would you say that you've seen that are like decades ago trying to, get the wheel to go?
Many of them are in denial. And we often see that where they say IT's too expensive because of past experiences, right? And so sometimes organizations stay in that, mindset of if it's not broke, we're not going to fix it, which they don't see that it's broken, baby. It is on its last leg and that we need to get you out before we start. I actually say the Blockbuster story. Blockbuster had a problem, right? Their revenue didn't see that there was a problem. But boy, oh boy, Netflix showed them that they had a problem. It took them a while in order for them to realize that the change was going to affect their bankruptcy of their business, right? And I think that companies that don't go through this next generation change and kind of have a firm like ours to help us through that, they will not stay in business for too long. The competition is too fierce. Don't think because we've been around for 85 years that we're going to stay along for the next generation and pass. We've seen Sears close, we've seen Circuit City go. The list goes on because if you don't have an innovative mind, I really don't think that businesses can stay full-fledged into the future.
Yeah, not anymore. Because you're talking about Blockbuster, like McDonald's, the two gentlemen that started McDonald's, fries, hamburgers, sodas. And then somebody came along and said, well, what are you going to do next?
Right.
We're here with cheeseburgers. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And they ended up losing the business. It was sold because they couldn't lift the lid on what was happening in their business.
Agreed. And that happens often to a lot of CEOs, a lot of C leadership. They get nuzzled down into their thought process, so they're not digitally advancing their curriculums, including CTOs out there, CIOs. They still think that, I understand 90s tech or 2000s tech. I don't understand 2025 tech because it's too complicated and we don't need it. We're doing fine. Our revenue dollar shows us different. That can only happen for so long,
right?
Before you'll be seeing a nice good old work close sign, to come to pass.
And just some of those, is there some risk aversion too with some of the companies that you're working with? They think it's too much of a cyber threat or too much of a risk, so they won't embrace it and miss those opportunities that could really help them out.
Absolutely. Big corporations, we saw what happened with CrowdStrike, right? CrowdStrike was one example of fear. Right? Fear of all. That's why we don't put tech into our new environment. I know Southwest made a comment. That's why we don't put new tech, right? Because this is what happens. But I think that's a wrong thing. What happened with CrowdStrike was that a lot of the organizations allowed third-party applications to be, move into their environment, which is a big no-no. That just told me that you have a data governance issue, right? But overall, I think that organizations need to take a step back to really see that they have a problem and fix the problem. Don't worry about what your competitors are doing. Worry about how you're going to keep your house safe. And I think that really, I think it's an ego thing, quite frankly, that no one wants to be told that they're wrong, including a leader, because you have this prominent position that you can never be wrong. And at the end of the day, you are wrong, buddy. You're wrong, Jack. And I think the last thing to answer your question is diversify your table, right? Sometimes I think that we see the common norms of what happens because this common thought process is moving around. Put somebody in there that you haven't seen. Put that 21-year-old kid in there, right? Allow that person to talk. We're going to let Gen X talk. But we allow them to talk, right? You're going to hear some things that you never heard before, and it might spark something new, right? But far as I remember, your C-suite is supposed to be thinking innovatively. And I don't think that that's the case lately.
No, I think of like, so I have an intense relationship with a coffee company ever since 92. And they're going through that now because they've brought in a new CEO who is young and has new ideas. And everybody's freaking out on the board because they're like, but what about him that started the company in 92? I don't know. Right. And it's like you're saying, it's like, dude, you either like step it up or you're not going to have your company.
Yeah, that's what it is. And a lot of folks don't know how to let the control go. One thing about Seer, we hire folks that are young and seasoned. I asked this, the 21-year-old, hey, what do you think about this? And she gives me her opinion. I'm like, you know what? I didn't think about that, right? Because they're going through a different generation that if we don't listen to not only the more seasoned and also the young, essentially there's no way where we can actually spark conversation and, swap diverse ideas. Yeah.
Well, I am so thrilled that you're part of the Speaker Bureau. I mean, I'm so honored that you're a part because I just can't wait until people start, booking again and to get you out there because your information is so needed, especially for companies, because we're going that direction. Either get on the train or stay at the station. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. Stay at the station and retire. And I'm actually very excited as well because we commonly hear AI, we commonly hear the common of tech, but we don't understand the people side of the tech, right? The people will still exist. I don't think we're going to have a starship out in Mars anywhere anytime soon, right? People will still be the reason and the season, right? Nothing can be moved until people move. And with me having a kind of understanding from the keynote perspective to educate the leaders on understanding of probing your people first. You want your tech to thrive, your people have to drive it, for sure.
Yes, I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great to have that topic in the Speaker Bureau because it affects all of us.
Yes.
It's something that it's coming for us whether we like it or not. And I think to your point, we probably have seen too many Terminator movies, and so we freak out that they are going to go rogue and Skynet's coming for us. But I really appreciate that you and your business are out there to educate and to help the business get to know what will work for you and what won't work for you and help you be successful.
Thank you so much. And it also brings a diverse mind to the table in tech as well, right? I think that that's also missing. So having the opportunity to speak to these leaders about my perspective of 20 years of being in tech, 12 industries, and the list goes on, right? What I've seen and where there can be improvements, essentially, and bringing it down to layman's terms. Sometimes tech's conversations are too high level, where everyone's like, I don't know what that is, Mr. Peabody. Bring it down for me a little bit, right? And that's one great skill that I have that I can't wait to let folks know is how do we bring it down to where it's understandable to the common, person who's going to listen to say, yeah, okay, that I understand that, and hopefully that I can be able to present that to folks once we have things rolling.
Yes, I'm so excited. And so you're the bar that I compare everybody to now. So there's been two people that have reached out to me that, I do AI. Do you? Okay, so tell me about what you do with A. And then they're like, so, we have the whole interview vetting thing.
Yes.
I'm just like, no.
Like, you're not speaking about this. Processes, data governance, Cobalt.
So that lane is all you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. It's been a minute, and I appreciate it. And essentially, one thing that I want, essentially, the listeners and those who do attend, I want them to grab a little bit of hope. That you're not going to die out because the bots are coming. It's going to make an innovation for, I think that here in America, we're behind, by the way. We're about 8 years behind this curve because we've been so complacent. So we're so used to the 9-to-5 schedule, right? And I think that we're going to be moving into another layer of this, of where AI is going to be helpful for us to maybe strike our new business, to create autonomy, right? No one's ever heard of an autonomous restaurant. Oh yeah, there's one in Pasadena, man. So that strikes something different. I'm able to make an earning by leveraging AI, and I don't have a boss. I'm able to reverb the game, and this is something that people are going to start to think about it more and more. And my last thought is that these 15 and 16-year-olds are actually getting it quicker than us. They're making a move in their careers earlier and making money off of it. So that's another topic, but that's how AI is moving.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Well, the first time we met, and you told me that AI is not new.
Yeah, it's not.
I was like, what?
AI is not new. IBM had AI, and essentially I would say artificial intelligence around the 1950s, early on, right, of how to predict models. We've been seeing predictions of global, climates. That's all AI, it's artificial intelligence. But when it came to modern AI, IBM coined it first with IBM Watson back in 2012. Right?
That's right.
Organizations such as hospitality, they've been leveraging that to help, exemplify more models. But now we're starting to get the little buzzword. Why? Because we're kind of behind on the times. And now we're just catching up to this new industrial age. But yeah, it's been around for quite some time.
I was thinking the other day, I was at a luncheon, and when in the environments of when they're having like a big thing at a casino, and they've got the people that are carrying these humongous trays of food all over the place. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, there's an opportunity, because why aren't, the robots that go around and have the plates of food and things like that? But I think with me, I was like thinking after I finally started using chat and everything that I was like, well, that was dumb. Look at how much time you wasted sitting there looking over something that I need to say this and I don't know how to say it. And, you spend days, at least I did, days trying to, write an email.
Right.
And now it's just like, okay, there it is, and give me something.
Right.
And it's like, all right, next.
And now you're like, now what else do I do with my time, right? Now you're going to start becoming more innovative, like, hold on, what if I could do this now with ChatGPT or something that's artificially bottish? And
Right.
I think everyone wants their time back.
Yes.
We just got to figure out how to do it, because I want my time to do other things than just work. And I think that we've been working for so long that I think it's time for us to kind of look in a different direction, like, where does humanity need to stay? Are we always going to be working, or can we actually start using our minds to create and build something else?
Yes. And be like sipping a cappuccino on the streets of Italy.
Yes, I want the Virgin Galactic, or
Yes.
with the whole I really want that. I want my time back. I've been busting my butt on the career for so long, right? And the retirement age has gone longer and longer. But AI is there. Like, well, is there actually going to be a retirement age anymore? I don't think so. I think that the younger generations are starting to realize that time is important, and they are. They're making AI work for them. They work for a year, and then after that, they go out and explore the world. I don't think they're necessarily lazy. I think that they're very smart. They're leveraging technology to regaining their time back, like Maxine Waters said, regaining back my time. Yeah.
Man. All right, so let's say that there's a company that's watching this that wants to hire you. How do they go about doing that?
Absolutely. So we're online at searsolution.com. We have all of our services identified. And then you can contact me there, or you can email me directly at volante@searsolution.com.
That's Volante at searsolution.com.
Yes, that's correct.
She'll change your world.
Yes. Yes, if you ever have Sheila back on, I'm going to rock, paper, scissors, Michelle, for that one. I'm going to be here for that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for being
me.
in the Bureau. And
Yes.
just thank you for being you. I think you're awesome.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. And thank you, Jason, for being my partner today at the podcast. I appreciate it.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. All right, everybody. So thank you for your support for What's Your Story, and we'll see you next time.